Good afternoon, everyone. I think we are officially live now, although officially we kick off at 5 o'clock today. So if whoever's on first, if you could very kindly type in the chat window and just confirm that you can hear audio okay, it'd be absolutely wonderful. If that's okay. In fact, Elaine, you're first today. I'm impressed. Hello, welcome, good afternoon. So I'm delighted you've been able to join us, and thanks for your messages, Elaine. It's been a constant source of joy, along with a number of other people. So anyone else who's joining us now, if you very kindly type into chat. We've got Michael with us. So let me just flash them all up so you can see each other. So you've got Michael, brilliant, lovely. Now we've got a Facebook user. We've got Ali, who's done the right thing and put her name in, brilliant. Who else we got here? We've got Stuart, lovely, welcome Stuart. We've got Kevin, he's from Scotland. What's it like in Scotland today, Kevin? So down here it's really hot. So thank you very much. The black background. Ah, okay, you like that. Interesting enough, it looks okay on a computer, but if you look on a mobile phone, it does look better when you see it like that. I do have to slide out a little bit there because I'm a bit on top of the screen. So thank you for that feedback. I'll leave it like that for the moment anyway. So who else have we got? Now we've got Pyre. We were talking about you earlier on today, Pyre, actually, because I seem to remember some of the lovely comments you said earlier on in the week. Thunderstorms in Scotland. Will, welcome. How's the photography going? So you're in the right spot for it being near the coast. Lovely, thank you very much. So who else have we got there? Lovely. And we have got Mandeep. Thank you very much. Lovely. So we're doing well. So we've already got a number of people. In fact, I can see the numbers are going up as we speak. So for those of you who are just joining us, this is the pre-show. Officially kick-off is at 5 o'clock. So what we'll do is we'll give everyone just a chance to engage and say hello. So who's saying hello now? Right. Yeah, I'm afraid, yeah, I probably need to change my looks there, Elaine, I'm afraid. So, right, so Lucy, who we got here? Lucy in Cambridge, got storms there. We had those about 5 this morning. Yeah, so perhaps it's going to be a latter lot coming through.
They're not going to come up this end.
Yeah, so who else we got? Mark Fritz. Hello, Mark. I think you've published your book, haven't you, if I remember correctly? Welcome. Is that you on board a boat there in the photograph? It certainly looks like it. What else we got? We have got Facebook user. Good to be back, although it'd be nice to know who you are. So if you just type your name in, it'd be great. So, right, yeah, we do need a bit of... And Muriel, you've got new furniture. In fact, Muriel's been relegated to another part of the house, haven't you, at the moment?
I have. I've been kicked out.
Yeah, why is that, Muriel? So why have you been relegated to another part of the house?
Because I have my son arriving with his girlfriend very shortly, and I need not to be disturbed. So they're going to use the back of the house and the garden. So I've been put in the front room for
fair
things.
Enough. Yeah, so well, you've got your new settee now. So Stephen, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Ah, hang on, I'm confused. So Stephen, are you with Michael at the moment, or are you using Michael's login? So anyway, no doubt you'll answer that. It's Claire Jones, welcome. Who else we got? Kevin, fantastic Liverpool. Oh yes, yeah. I've got someone else. Muriel, you're in the Wirral, aren't you? So just down.
I am. Who's Kevin? Kevin, you're in Liverpool. Yay!
Yeah. We've got Graham DaCosta. Welcome, Graham. Nice to see you again today. We got Ali, lovely, thank you, and Alan Sutton. Welcome, Alan. Good. Everyone's getting very well used to this now, putting the names in if they're coming in via the group. Right, Muriel, do you want to answer that question?
What question? Hang on.
The question there is saying where you're originally from.
Oh, bless you. I'm from Malta. I'm a Malteser. But I haven't got the less fattening centre.
We've got Daniel, welcome. We've also got Renato, well done. Congratulations. Oh, right. So Stephen's a friend of yours, or Michael's a friend. You're friends of each other. Right, Donna, welcome. Okay, who else we got? Michael again. We got Kevin. Right. So you're in that. Right. Okay. Funny enough, there's a lot of nostalgia over that, because when I was 11 years old, when I didn't really have any clue about football at all, I still don't have any clue now, I was a very young Liverpool supporter. But don't ask me about anything to do with Liverpool, because I don't really know what's going on apart from the achievements last night. So Right.
Oh,
Yes.
who's got their 60th anniversary?
Oh, right. Yeah. Who's that? Out of interest. Again, put your name in so we know who you are. Especially as the day goes on, it could get quite important. And we've got Alan with us. So it's actually now 5 o'clock. So I think what we better do is we should get started. So just bear me a second. You'll do me a favour, so I've left that comment still switched on. Could you switch off on your side? It'll be very near the end.
Right, it's Renato. Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah, with Alan.
Which one is it, Alex?
Yeah, there we go. Lovely. All right, so just sort.
Oh, that's a bit close.
There we go. Right, there we go. Move back a little bit. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. So just to confirm, today is about your action plan, what now for 2020 and beyond. And we've got actually quite a bit to cover in reality. In fact, I've actually been considering taking some of the content out, but I'm reluctant to do that. What we may have to do is to save some of the questions till the very end, just to make sure we cover what I feel that you probably greatly appreciate. So this is what we covered this week, and obviously we're now on the last part of it. I think most of you pretty well know your way around now, but if you do get a problem, then with where you are, you can jump in via YouTube Live or via the Facebook page. Now, a few people worth recognition here, actually. And this is a really difficult one. We had to go through about 4 days worth of messages. But I just want to give special recognition to Nikki, Leroy, Pierre, Michael, Lucy, Kevin, Tony, Donna, Andrew, Alan, Daniel, Renato. Now, we may miss some of you out. Sometimes we don't always know who you are because you don't put your name in. But nevertheless, in different ways over the last few days, you've all individually made different contributions. And if you're not there, you're still just as important. It's just we had to try and pick out perhaps 9 or 10 people, and we thought you were worth particularly identifying. And of course, we've got if Neil's on with us today. Neil, if you are, just say hello. Neil, I know, was on Monday, and I'm not sure he's on today. But obviously, Neil was a great contributor to the day 2 of this week. So very grateful for that. Now, today's plan is to talk about your action plan. We're going to be talking about the decline of the dinosaurs, the ascent of those that changed, the New World Order, and our predictions. Now, I've got Stephen Sachs here today. So Stephen, I'm sure, will no doubt tell me if I've got it completely wrong. So knowing Stephen as I do. But we're going to do our best to predict what we feel is going to happen over the next 6 months and then also into next year. And we're then going to look at whether it's a threat or an opportunity or how we can turn that around. 5 key strategies you should put in place. And I would say open discussions. The open discussion, we may have to open those up at the very end after the competition. Let's see how we go. Or people may well want to get out here outside and have a few glasses of wine and a beer, in which case we can't understand. So moving a little bit on from that, so if I get my mouse pointed back, we don't want this to be a pitch fest, fundamentally, and we want to be very upfront. I'm going to touch on this very much at the beginning. We will explain 3 or 4 minutes at the end as well, but just so we're very upfront about it, we do have full membership options, where we can provide a 12-pillar program, lots of mentoring support under breakthrough boardrooms, and also what we class as our social selling blueprints around lead generation, prospect nurturing, sales optimization. That's a done with you service. Again, I'm not going to go into any detail with these today because this tends to be more some people who want the full service options. Okay, and you obviously know about the competition today. That's what's up for grabs. And just as a point of reassurance, when you do the questionnaire a bit later on, fun enough, I had to get several family members to do it. Muriel's had a go as well. And I have been told that several questions are a little bit too difficult. So let's put it this way, if you get over 70% to 60 or 70% today, you're going to be doing pretty well. Although Muriel tells me that she reckons there might be 3 or 4 people who may actually get 100%. But we will have to see. Okay, we'll come to that a bit later. Now, with this new service here, we're just launching, and this is what the competition is based around, and we can offer you something around that. And for people on a very limited budget, where they just want to get results on LinkedIn, have a lot of help over the marketing support, segmentation, the products, those type of things, and have access to a taster online breakthrough boardroom, they can do that. And also, if people were to go for that, we do offer like a 100% rebate option if someone upgrades in the first 30 days. But again, I'm not proposing to go into detail about this. It's just more of a feel. What we will be doing at the end today, we're not going to be asking anyone to make any payments today unless you want to book in a strategic review call with myself. So you're going to have two options at the end. We've actually really got three. The third option is you could take no action, in which case that's absolutely fine. I hopefully we've shared lots of value. The second option is to book in a free call with Mural. And what you also can do is to book in a strategy call with myself, which includes a diagnostic review. We do ask for a £100 contribution, but it's backed, obviously, if someone's unhappy with the advice we've given, that's backed by a total satisfaction guarantee. And also, if you decide to engage with us further over the next 5 days or so, then we will actually rebate that £100 against some form of upgraded package. So don't worry, it's not going to be no high pressure sales techniques today. It's all about sharing value. So now on to the meat of the presentation. So this, what I'd love to know is what you've all taken away from this week so far. If a few of you could just type that in the chat, that'd be lovely. And Muriel, you might be able to just to flash a few of those up on the screen as they come in. So if you've got a big takeaway or several big takeaways, if you put that in the chat, that'd be really appreciated. And Muriel will try and flash a few up on the screen just so that there's a little bit more involvement engagement. So over to you, Muriel, I'll let you look at that and just bring up as you feel appropriate. Now, interesting enough, Muriel and I went through the conversations yesterday, and it became quite apparent that quite a few of the comments or questions actually it's just scrolled off the top of the screen. What happens, things can be moving so fast, we actually don't have a chance to see the question before it's gone off the top of the screen. So, but what has become apparent is that there's several really good ones which we didn't actually answer. But what I have done is I've answered one of the questions here. Which basically was, where do we get our business from, or how successful is LinkedIn? Now, basically, probably the majority of you are here are because in some shape or form a conversation started on LinkedIn. And looking at our own database, 61% of the business that we personally gain is through LinkedIn. We very much preach what we walk the talk, as it were. Facebook and Instagram for us is very small. But that's mainly because we haven't used it very much. We're using it a lot more now, but not so much. And with LinkedIn, of course, the good thing is you don't have to pay to play apart from a big Sales Navigator account. We've got a massive email list, about 68,000 businesses on our email list, but that only still accounts for 25%. So say the bulk comes from LinkedIn, and obviously you can see the rest through referrals. So if anyone's got any doubts about whether LinkedIn works or not, this really should reassure you on that. Also, Gary V, I don't know if anyone follows Gary V. Obviously, he's a bit of an evangelist over all sorts of things. He did a talk about 6 months ago and basically saying that, in effect, LinkedIn is really where it's all happening now. So that doesn't mean that Facebook isn't very important. It is, indeed. Many businesses get a lot of business or clients through Facebook. But all I'm just simply saying, perhaps 2 or 3 years ago, it was rather dismissed. Now it should very much be seen as one of the key platforms. Okay, so thanks. I'm afraid I'm personally always keeping an eye on this, but if I'm missing some of the feedback here, I do apologise. So Muriel, you're picking some of those up, which I can see, which is brilliant. So moving on from that, what we've talked about is what we're interested in is working with people to help them to grow as individuals, so they can therefore go on to grow their businesses and ultimately, if they want to scale them, that they can scale. And obviously, a lot of people are very happy keeping the businesses, broadly speaking, as they are, but with continued steady growth. But if you want to scale it, then that's important too. We obviously do offer a social selling blueprint or social selling system, and everything's focused or should be focused around your customers, your products, and your markets. Right, that's a lovely one. I can't even see the screen actually because it's such a lovely big comment.
Sorry.
Hey guys, I didn't have a chance to catch it. But what was the gist of that, Muriel? Can you remember what the gist of it was?
Yeah, they've enjoyed the whole 5 days actually. giving insight to where my business needs to be and how to restructure my business foundation so that I can now start building upwards using the 12 pillars for growing and have a successful business. I've learned so much in the 5 days. It is really unbelievable. It's taken me 7 years to build my business, falling into every pitfall, making schoolboy errors, and then learning to grow stronger. To learning from them.
Nice.
If I had this insight from day one, I would be A, and I'm not sure the rest. Who's written that? We haven't got a name on it.
Yeah.
I'll try and find out.
It may have run off the edge of the chat, but that's a lovely one. I don't know who said that. It's thank you ever so much. That's really appreciated. Right, so let's keep moving, and Mira, just keep on flashing some other comments. If we find out who it is, it'd be nice to know. So what have we learned so far? We've learned about the new normal and why it is important to adapt quickly to an ever-changing market. I think we probably would all agree that the last 12 months, I'm including the last 6 months of last year, has never actually moved faster than it has now. Who would have thought we would have been in the middle of Brexit last year? That was on the news every day. We then had a general election. Everyone's looking really positive from sort of January, early part of February. And then, of course, this train crash comes along that we're dealing with at the moment. So, but nevertheless, we all learn from that. We also must learn to understand how to slay the dragon and keep the reptilian brain in check. We learned that as well. The importance of consistency and having a can-do mindset, and how we must always look outwards and focus on client needs. We also learned about the 12-pillar framework and what impact can have your business, the importance of building tribes, and why having a social selling blueprint is so important to have a well-oiled sales machine. And also consider what may break you as well as to minimize the risk, and what you can do to grow your business with resilience in mind. Now, I will say, pay careful attention to these because some really good clues to some of the questions in here, just to make sure if you missed a few things in the last couple of days, just make sure you make lots of notes because they may well help you. Okay, now a quick review over the last 12 months, because things have moved so quickly. So Brexit, general election, increasing global and political unrest, China, Russia, Middle East, the Trump era, everything that's going around that. First 2 months of the year, beginning of significant market improvements, then the bomb hits, and then COVID, the decimation of the high street, events, hospitality and travel. Obviously, we've experiencing a major slump at the moment, and a government stimulus like we've never seen before, and massive market disruption, i.e. Amazon, Google, Zoom, lots of other players. Even takeaways are doing quite well at the moment, whereas restaurants are really struggling. It's interesting. I saw something on the news. I just touched on this a couple of days ago, but there was us thinking we're in a bad position because we're almost 100% of GDP in terms of our borrowing, which is unbelievable. I think it's £2 trillion worth of national debt, give or take. Well, apparently Italy and a number of other European countries and the US, for example, are way, way above that as a figure. So ironically enough, while this is all quite bad news, something that came out was that the country overall should be able to still continue to borrow money very cheaply, because despite the uncertainty that's going on and also the problems we're facing, it's actually seen as being a relative safe haven for other organized countries to invest. So to actually borrow money on the markets for at least the government and government security and things like that, it bodes quite well. But so hopefully that helped with this as well, because hopefully it should mean that interest rates in this country will remain low for a while, which is important, especially when we're trying to come out of what we're dealing with now. So next 6 months, COVID potential decline. Now, that was actually written last week. I've since spoken to several people, and I think it's highly likely we will have a second wave. And I actually think probably when we come to the winter, I have to say, I think I blame Keith for this one. I don't know if Keith's on today, but Keith raised a really good point earlier on with me when I was speaking to a few days ago. And he was saying that actually, if you in the wintertime, if you combine COVID with the normal flu, that's going to be a real pressure point for hospitals and everything else. So anyone who's not paying any respect to social distancing deserves, unfortunately, what they, actually, I don't wish that at all, but certainly they should be having due consideration for others, especially their relatives and elderly people around them. So obviously we are expecting a slow return to the high street, events, hospitality and travel. Clearly a lot of airlines are in difficulties. A lot of people have forgotten about Brexit and also property prices, a bit of a question mark of that. Interesting enough, I think what's happening at the moment and moving into next year, Brexit and compared to everything else is going to almost wincebate pale into significance. But actually the other events which are going on at the moment are probably much more significant. So even if we end up without a trade deal, my perception is that overall, what is going to have a much bigger impact is how well we come out of what we're dealing with now, and how businesses actually develop and come through this, and how everything's managed. Obviously, we know there's an increasing unemployment, business foreclosures. A lot of the business foreclosures probably will start to happen later on this year, because in the last few months and where we are now, of course, there's been a lot of propping up by government to try and help them out. I suspect there'll be a continuation of government stimulus, especially to do with construction. And also, I think there'll probably be more help for small business, particularly for startups. So at the end of the day, micro businesses are the engine of the economy. And one way for the government to be actually quickly be able to get some for return to normality in terms of taxation is being able to accelerate the support that startups can have from the market. So I think it could well be the beginning of the social entrepreneur revolution. And next year, after hopefully a spring resurgence and a potential COVID decline, high streets, events, hospitality, travel starts to adapt to the new normal. Brexit become clear. I think there's also, we'll see the ascent of China and the Asian powerhouse, particularly at the expense of the US and Europe. I think that's already happened. Obviously, with the caveat that China obviously has got a major outbreak again in, I think it's Beijing, if I got that right. Sorry about that. I think there could be a potential trade war between the US and China, with Hong Kong acting as a catalyst. And of course, that could apply with the UK as well. Obviously, artificial intelligence and technology are proving to be massive, of course, massive market disruption. I don't think we should be frightened of that. We should embrace it. And I think millennials within the next 5 or 6 years are going to be, understand a greater percentage of the workforce than the rest of us. And obviously the impact that millennials will have overall, I believe will be a positive one. But this is what I mean by a lot of the dinosaurs will largely disappear, the ones that don't adapt and change. And so we've already talked about many new startups. Now, something else around that as well, let's come to this part here, is talk about the decline of the dinosaurs, the ascent of those adapt and change. You only need to look at what some of the larger companies are doing at the moment. For example, I'm going to name and shame a little bit here. I shouldn't really. But if you look at some of the telecoms providers, if you look at some of the mobile phone providers, if you look at some of the banks, okay, and I don't want to be a bank basher as such, and I appreciate they've been a victim, like everyone else, of perhaps a lot of demand, can't keep up with it. But rather than actually improve customer service or try and think of ways how they can help people at a time of need, what they've done is they've actually largely removed, to all intents and purposes, all telephone support, even to the extent you quite often can't even set up a direct debit, or if you need to speak with, and people, the service with a lot of large companies has gone completely down the pan. And I think this creates a massive opportunity for small to medium-sized businesses, especially for those ones that actually really care, and also if they continually change and adapt to the new market. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean just taking everything you're doing and doing it online, because in reality, everything on the online marketplace is extremely competitive in itself. And the biggest competitor we talked about already is YouTube out there. So just bear in mind, you have to do things which are very different. And I actually feel it is very much the beginning and the rise of the social entrepreneur revolution. And I think a lot of us are very fed up with the old world order. Rather tragically, I do feel, though, that the very poor will get poorer and the very rich will get richer. Okay, so obviously there's a few caveats to that. Now, obviously, there are some very good entrepreneurs out there, like Bill Gates and a few others, who have made them masses of their fortunes and chosen to give it back. But you only need, we touched on this the other day, but you only need to look at things like the tariff systems, which apply to certain countries, and they happen to be some of the poorest countries in the world. Why is a global economy, why are we discriminating against countries which, quite frankly, the people are living in severe poverty? But unfortunately, these are answers that we can't solve. They're just too big for you and I to deal with. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on this because we talked about this on Monday, but a very quick reminder, obviously, there's lots of sources of finance at the moment, especially from government. If you are a small to medium-sized business, or certainly a smaller business, don't dismiss bounce back loans. They should be looked at. I will say that I know that Barclays and HSBC, and I think it's the same with many of the others, are completely overrun. I know, in fairness to those banks, well, that the service has gone down the pan. I know they've had to take people off whole other areas to actually try and service a lot of these inquiries. But then you get lots of contradictions. For example, HSBC has announced they're going to make 35,000 people redundant, I believe, worldwide, or lay them off. Now, why are you doing that when you can't even provide decent service? I have no idea, but there we go. I appreciate it's down to profits. But right, so the next part really is, actually make sure I missed anything, it's going to focus a little bit on the bit of suppose some significant questions. Muriel, just to give a little bit of a break so everyone so we have a chance to interject with a few people who come up. Honestly, I'm sorry that I'm missing a lot of the comments that are coming up. Obviously, Muriel, you're doing your best there. Are there any particular comments or questions which are coming up which we can try and pick out now, Muriel, in a couple of minutes?
There's no questions yet. There you go. There's quite a good comment. TSB and NatWest were both brilliant. BB loans approved and paid within 5 days.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, that is quick.
With NatWest and those figures, because certainly 10 years ago they were shocking. But TSB, of course, is a challenger bank, even though so obviously the customer service is really important. Thank you, Ellen, for that. Sorry,
an interesting one. Sorry, Rupert. I didn't want to put this up while you were doing the slides because it's quite long.
Right. Can you just read that out?
This is from Pia, I believe. Pia. Takeaway: I will launch webinars targeting different parts of the world. For instance, local time Australia, Europe, America, etc. Rather than trying to please all with one, as I've done up to. She's done up to now. Okay. I will also start to offer free valuable material on my new upcoming website, which is under construction, and maybe do something special for everyone in this lovely group. Thanks for the inspiration and your lovely English voices.
Yeah, thank you ever so much. Mind you, I'd love to live where you are, but P.S. But thank you for showing. I've not got a clue where I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but thanks for that.
And prior, that lovely long message that came across, that was actually from Leroy.
Oh, right. Oh, Leroy.
Yeah.
Leroy runs a social enterprise for another business and very much helping minority groups in the construction industry. So keep up the good work, Leroy, by the way. So we'll keep on moving for the moment. So we make sure we share as much value as we can. Questions you should really ask yourself. Now, Penis agreeing you, are your why and your personal business values well aligned? Do you have your postcode in your sat nav of where you want, what is your plan and what is your destination when you want to get there? In terms of growing your business, have you got a clear living, breathing document which reflects your business plan? It doesn't need to be a 30, 40-page document unless you're trying to raise finance. And even then, a lot of people won't read anything as long as that. So if you've got something living and breathing, which again has got your postcode put into it, so even if you go off course a few times, it doesn't really matter. You can adapt and change. Are you clear on your brand assets and ambassadors around you who are passionate about your success? Do you have a good board management support infrastructure to assist you? And what do you do when you need to get some proper help? What support do you have around you? And then do you have a clear product portfolio which is suited to what your potential customers want and their buying cycle? And we talked about potentially having a balanced portfolio to meet different types of client needs. Do you have a laser-like understanding of your markets and the people that you're trying to reach? And what is your ideal marketing mix? Have you implemented the social selling blueprint? And with your social selling system, Do you have a good lead generation, prospect nurturing, sales optimization systems? And do you have systems and resources to be your engine of growth? And then in terms of scaling your business, what systems do you have in place to ensure that you can be effective and can scale? How good are your finance systems, and how well funded are you to support the growth? Now, that's particularly important now. Make sure you do have money in the bank, but equally invest in the right things which are going to help to develop and grow your business, or in assets which are going to create wealth. Don't invest in things which are not going to generate wealth in any shape or form. Obviously, there was that lovely example who bought himself a new car after a bounce back loan. Now, I suppose that probably is indirectly supporting the car manufacturing industry, so we should be grateful for that person, but nevertheless, not necessarily a very wise thing to do in a business context. Have you properly protected your intellectual property? And also, what have you done to protect the unprotectable? How well do you scale, and what would potentially could break you? So a few questions you should be asking yourselves. And so just quite a bit of a refresher. We talk about growing your business, looking at how you can scale your business if that's what you want, with having a very strong social selling blueprint or system there to support the growth, and obviously everything being focused around your customers, your products, and your markets. Obviously, your customers and your prospects and your supporters and associates, all those people really should be the hub of everything that you do. So fundamentally, we're here to help you grow and have a successful business. This is some of the examples of areas that we help people. And of course, you're very welcome to take part in live streams as well, which we run every week. Now, clearly, some of these things like the physical boardroom events or work breakthrough boardrooms, we've temporarily had to put on hold, but we've actually more than covered that by doing lots of other things. And a little bit of a summary of our service again, then we'll break out and have some questions, and we'll come to the competition as well. We talked a little bit earlier on about different membership options. Obviously, these are more bespoke, high-level options where we're providing a done-with-you service. And obviously, we've got the competition around this in just a moment. And also, we have got, in terms of this part here, this this competition, what people get as part of that includes 12 months membership, including the Fast Start service. You get 8 monthly live streams over a 12-month period. You also get access to 8 monthly online breakthrough boardrooms, and that will be looking at the different pillars in your business. You also get a laptop included, some specialist software to run your campaigns, and we also will give you remote ticketed support. You'll also get a video training around the social selling blueprint, optimize your LinkedIn profile, the ideal messaging strategy, and also understanding policy segmentation. We'll also take you through a video diagnostic questionnaire, look at a really detailed strategic review calls, some coaching calls, and you'll be part of the Biz Growth Inner Circle through a closed Facebook group and 3 live streams. So that's included within that prize, okay? So it's worth just bearing in mind. So I just want to make sure I'm not running a little bit ahead of myself, actually. In reality, we've done quite well because we've, so we can break out, Muriel, answering a few questions that we've got. So we've caught up a bit of ground, which is quite good. So if any questions that people have got, any comments, we could cover those now.
Okay, Keith Lawrence. Okay, I still find that too many business owners still can't distinguish between investment, for instance, the right people, the right marketing, the right training, etc., and costs, discretionary expenditure that isn't necessary to run a business successfully.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And at times like this, Keith, I think you and I agree with this 100%. It's so important to invest in the right things. And we talked a lot about looking outwards, not inwards. I'm not suggesting this by any leap of the imagination, but one of the clients we've been doing a lot of work with doesn't even have a website. He's got a really successful business. I think he was at one point turning over just under £1 million a year, and it's a one-person business. Okay, and I'm not suggesting to have a website, and clearly websites need to be kept up to date because it does represent you and your brand. But just simply saying, look at the market you're in and make sure you only do what's necessary to attract the right type of clients and to serve your clients well, and make sure that you're looking at your supporters and associates around you who are very keen to see you succeed and how you can give back. So yeah, Keith, thank you very much for that one.
There's been a lot of comments about the bounce back loan. A lot of people are getting nowhere fast and having to wait weeks and weeks, and other people are getting them within days.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. In fact, Raymond, are you on the call today? If you are, just introduce yourself, because I was speaking to Raymond a few days ago, and I know he's been helping a lot of people. Yes, it's very, very patchy, as has been discovered. For example, I think HSBC and Barclays in particular have a bit of an issue at the moment, but of course that's a lot of it's going to vary by region as well, and all sorts of things. Okay, let's just have a quick look to one or two other things. Right, this is interesting. Someone's saying, I had a conversation with Director of Metrobank on Monday for a meeting. Right, excellent. Okay, I don't know who you are, so again, if you put your name in, that'd be lovely. And what's Ellen saying here? Oh, sorry, spelling right. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, what else has we got here? Right, what's that there? Referred to as guns, money, and butter money. Does that ring a bell with anyone? I'd love to revisit the book. If anyone knows it, by all means, put the title in the chat. We've got Will Harvey here as well. Oh, thank you very much, Will. I'd like to emphasize the importance of adaptability and creativity in business. We show business how to take on fresh, creative approach instead of trotting out to the same old marketing cliches. It doesn't have to be radical, just unique to them. Be a leader, not a follower, and use creative skills to follow your vision. After that, simply provide a great. William, that's absolutely brilliant. Love it. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for sharing. So, Rupert, you're going to mention something about IP. Yes, intellectual property. In fact, I did cover this. Was it Wednesday, Muriel? I think, yes, it was Wednesday when we did the 12 pillars. I covered the 12 pillars or 12 strategies. Yeah, the intellectual property side is really interesting because just a tiny bit of a story on that. I can't remember if I mentioned this week, but about 12 years ago, I think I did cover it, so I'll be very brief. We were dealing with a particular PLC. I drove up to Yorkshire about 3 times, ridiculous time of the morning, and I had lengthy conversation. They'd signed a non-disclosure agreement. And basically, they then went very quiet for about 6 months. We couldn't figure out what was happening. And next thing we know, they've actually had a room in the Houses of Parliament. Okay, so the reason I meant to actually do some launch. Now, as I touched on a little bit earlier on in the week, in reality, that, strange enough, did us a big favour because although they'd announced a lot of our ideas and concepts, what they hadn't been part of was 6 months where the discussions have happened since. And what had happened is they'd helped to establish the market. Of course, when we came with our proposition, it just made their proposition look inadequate. Now, so especially if you're in the space generally where there's there's a lot of competition, and the coaching, mentoring, training space is one of those in particular, then it is about continually innovating to stay ahead and never allow yourself to stand still. Now, quite often, a lot of it's very innocent, but equally other times it can be blatant plagiarism as well. And it's not worth generally trying to pursue people when things go wrong. There's a lot you can do to protect your intellectual property, but there's equally a lot of things you just can't protect. So it's just about continually innovating. So, Mike, I'm hoping that's helped to answer that one a little bit. So I saw something here, Muriel. I'm just trying to see because they're going up the screen so quickly. So I think, Keith, you're saying something about that for number class in. Wow, that's interesting. There's a bit of a trend there with Nat West by the looks of it. Yeah. So it's okay. Who else we got here? Someone's made some reference about. Right. Okay. Someone said something. I've lost it. Someone made 13th of May. Someone made a reference. What's that there?
Well, there you go.
Since 13th of May. Right. Yeah. I don't know who that is saying that, but is that Tony? I'm not sure. It might be someone else. Okay, so because we need to allow a little bit of time for people to complete this questionnaire, which we do want to give everyone a fair chance to complete, what we'll do is we'll move ahead and there'll be a little bit of a breakout session to give everyone a chance to complete the questionnaire. And then what we could do is do some more questions at the end as well. So if everyone's agreement with that, that'd be absolutely wonderful. Now, this actual group we're in, the closed group, will officially close at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. And obviously, we'd love you to join on the journey. And we've got another group we can invite you into. As part of the 5-day challenge offer, Now, we've referred to this as being just under 7K for the price. Okay, now what we're doing, because this is a new service, what we're doing is for the first 5 people who come on board with this new service, who, providing they come on board by Tuesday next week, so the first 5, whichever comes first, can basically get a £2,000 saving. The only thing we'd ask in return, because obviously it is a very significant saving, is that you work with us a little bit, because in real terms, we very much will be listening to you to make sure that we get this 100% right, because this is going to be rolled out on a much bigger scale over the coming months. But if you're happy to be involved at an early stage with this, then I'm very happy to offer those very special terms. And if you're on a very limited budget, then the BizGrow Foundation is a great package to come in at, because that's simply an investment of £997. These are plus VAT, by the way. That's a 12 months membership. We still cover 3 of the pillars out of the 12, and you get access to one of the Taster online breakthrough boardrooms. The crucial thing is we'll actually help you a lot on LinkedIn through video learning and through the coaching, or to get your profile optimized, explain to you the importance of the optimized messaging process, and help you use Sales Navigator as a case in point. And we'll still be very pleased to provide some sort of diagnostic questionnaire around that, and a review call, and you'll have access to the group which I've referred to. So for a very modest investment, you get 12 months membership, and you get a range of benefits. Clearly, if you can, to be frank, the BizGrow Premium, which you see as part of this offer, the competition, to be frank, is a no-brainer. If you factor in over 12 months, we actually give you the software and tools to be able to run your own campaigns, basically put rocket fuel under it. If you actually want to do more of a done with you service, we've got those options as well, but I wasn't proposing to go with those particularly today. In addition to that, because we're rolling this out in the next couple of weeks, and to be fair, we want to make sure we're over-delivering. Instead of giving 12 months membership for that, we're actually going to give people 13 months towards the end of the July 2021. And it'll also, what we'll do is we're going to have a breakthrough boardroom next, I think it's next Friday, the 3rd of July, which will be run on Chatham House rules. It'll be different to this. It'll be a much smaller, much more intimate group, and everyone have a chance of raising an opportunity. We'll be able to see each other. They're highly proactive. Okay. Now we may well run another one the week after, because it's a bit short notice. We recognise that some people may not make it. So if you are wanting to move ahead with this, we'd love to get you in next Friday if you want to join us. This is like a bonus one we're including for anyone that's coming aboard now. Now, the reason we're also doing this is that we're well aware that there's quite a few questions we've not been able to answer the next few days. And obviously, if people are happy to come on the journey with us in the way I've described, then obviously our way of giving a little bit extra back is to do that for you. And of course, as part of this, we invite you into the group. So overall, it's 5 spaces available on the foundation package and also the premium package, including the laptop and the software, etc. We've got available, and Tuesday's the final closing date if they've not gone by then. Moving on a little bit there. Obviously, we're here very much to support you on the journey. We really do care about helping you to succeed and grow, and we also recognise that running a business can be a lonely journey. To answer your question, Len, yes, it's something you're going to be doing live in just a moment. Okay. And this is why we suggested it was so important everyone could actually join us today. So we sort of stressed that throughout the week. But yes, so it's only those of you today who are going to be eligible for the competition, or competitions, I should say. Basically, just a reminder, you've got 2 offers today. We're not asking you to make a firm commitment to one of those options right away, although, of course, if you want to do so, you're very welcome to do so. And indeed, there's an incentive, because we do only have those limited spots, as it were. But there's the option to book in a free call with Muriel, or alternatively, want to book in a 1-hour strategy call with me and a bit of a review, then we can do that as well. And that's backed by a total satisfaction guarantee. So it's a £100 contribution, which I appreciate it's only a small contribution to my time, as it were. And you get a total satisfaction guarantee backed against that. But it's just the other part is when we take clients on, and this is one of the reasons we don't like to try and close, I hate the word close, but actually close something on something like this, is we actually have to make sure it's a really good two-way fit, okay? So, for example, if we feel people just don't have the skills, then we may need to offer a different type of solution, which is much more bespoke for them, in which case it may not be appropriate for one of these types of solutions. So it's all about making sure that we give people what they want. Also, if you're lucky enough to win the prize today, the top prize, then if you chose, you can take that. Of course, if you want to upgrade to one of our done with you services, you can also do that as well. And we'll actually rebate the value of the prize against that as well. So yeah, everyone can have a chance to benefit from this. So we're trying to make it inclusive as much as we can with all of this. So really moving on from here. So the process, broadly speaking, is if you would like to book a free call with Muriel, in just a moment I'll give you a link so you can complete the form, and you'll be able to book in a call in real time through the calendar system. And in terms of myself, we'd ask you to complete the form, which you're about to do now anyways for the competition. Make an impact contribution. In reality, you'll get access to the calendar first. You book the call into the calendar, and then also we can worry about the rest of it afterwards. So just making sure, just trying to see exactly where we're at. Actually, we've done very clearly well for time, which I'm pleased about, because I didn't want to find that people were being a little bit rushed. So it won't be a second though. Just make sure I've not missed anything really important. Yeah, so now just to also clarify, when you book, if you choose to book a call with me for the £100 part of it, this part is optional, you don't have to do it. But if you want to complete a 12-pillar diagnostic questionnaire, we can use that as part of the call. Now, we've not done, although there'll be a couple of questions related to that in this today, it enables us to drill down much more depth with your business. But if you don't want to do that, that's equally fine. We're still very happy to do the call and focus on you and your business. As part of that, we can discuss any challenges and understand what your client, what you're looking for in terms of reaching out to your clients, and map out any opportunities, and also look at any challenges you're facing that may be inhibiting the growth of your business, and basically create a bit of an action plan. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, Muriel, can you share the link in the chat if that's all right, please? So what I suggest you do is if you could grab that link when it comes in the chat. So what we're going to do is we're going to give everyone, let me just make sure the time here. We're going to give everyone 12 minutes starting from now. So it's 5:40, say 5:43, allowing for a slight time lag. So that'll take you up to 5:57 overall. Now, if we can still see that a number of people are still completing, so we can still look at our back end on our system and see how far people have got. If people need a little bit more time, we will give people a bit more time. Now, a lot of the choices are multiple choice questions, so they shouldn't take that long. And there are other questions where it asks some more open-ended questions. But as far as the competition is concerned, it'll be very obvious because we'll say in there the questions relating to the competition. They're multiple choice. So you've either got, even if you don't know the answer, guess at it, because at least got a 1 in 4 chance of getting the answer right. Okay. If you really don't know, you can just leave that question blank, but obviously won't get any points. So what we've got is in total 10 questions, so 2 questions per day. So 2 questions on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 Thursday, 2 Friday. That's 10 questions. Each question is worth 10 points, okay, if you get the right answer. So the maximum score is 100. I'm predicting that people may have to go beyond 70. So if you're doing above 70, you're doing really well. But we have got a tiebreaker question through that, which is to, if you get several people the same score, we can decide on that. There's also another question, which is really to do for the runner-up prize for the £50 Amazon voucher. And there will be a third one as well, which will be a £50 Amazon voucher as well, in addition to that. And that'll be looking more at your own engagement over the last few days. So we've already done a lot of research on that, but we're looking at the chat today as well. So I'm going to have to give people an extra couple of minutes, I think, on this because I've overrun. So Muriel, can you say one please confirm they've got the link okay? Anyone got a problem with the link?
Ellen's saying, should we be seeing the link yet?
Have you put in the chat, Muriel, and hit research?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have, further up.
Okay, right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Don't close this tab down you're on, by the way, at the moment, so that's really important. Okay, I'm going to have to try, you're going to lose this slide deck for a minute, just bear me a second. So it's a bit of a fiddle doing this part, unfortunately. How to stream.
Facebook user, no. I wonder if I could.
It's this is one part I haven't quite figured out yet. It's a little bit challenging. Stop screen. There we go. I'm going to just add it back in again. Share screen, and then there we go. I think I have got it. I take it. You can. I think you can see my screen now with the website. So what the other way of doing it is to open another tab up in your browser. Leave this one still open. Okay, that's really important. Otherwise, you'll lose this stream. If you do lose the stream, just go straight back in the link that you joined us before. I will give everyone at least till about a couple of minutes past 6 anyway, so don't worry about it. And if I still see people need a bit more time, we'll give you that bit of extra time.
Okay, what I've done, Rupert, I've gone into both Facebooks and YouTube and copied and pasted the links in their chat as well.
Right, so that's community group, Muriel's Fast Start group, and the page. Have you done the page as well?
Yeah.
Okay, right, if you go to learn more on the drop-down menu here, so businessgrowthbureau.com, choose learn more. Now don't choose the application one, choose the questionnaire, 5-day challenge questionnaire. Okay, and there you go. All right, so it's a case of completing this. For those of you who want to then book a call on at the end, you'll get a screen that will come up, which you'll be able to choose to book a call in with myself, and we'll also do that as soon as you get to the end. And if you want chosen to book a call with me, there is a payment link there as well, or you can return to this page and there's a payment link there to book, actually make your £100 investment for that. So good luck, everyone. All over to you. So it's now 5:46 and 42 seconds. Certainly live it is on Facebook, YouTube, probably over 24 seconds behind. Good luck, everyone. Now, what I'll do is we'll keep an eye on the chat. If anyone's got some real problems, I'm going to give you Muriel's number now. So Muriel, have your phone ready. Okay. So Muriel's number. Do you want to give us your mobile number, Muriel?
Yep.
Well, what is your mobile number?
Do you not know it?
In the chat as well. No, I can't remember.
Okay, it's 07852 329 762, and I'll put it in chat.
Okay, right. So you got a problem. Muriel will have to probably text Muriel first. Muriel will try and deal with any queries you've got. I'm going to do also as a bit of fun, rather than just having nothing to join in then, is I'm also going to open up another page here, which I am going to bring something up, which is a little bit of fun, which is something we did with our clients 2 years ago. So let me just go here, TV videos, Sailing Adventures, and Tenacious. Okay. Is that the right one? Yes, there we go. This is a 5-minute video. So I'm going to put this in the background. Do enjoy. There's a bit of music in the background and a few stories. And if you've got any questions, also type them in the chat and we'll try and help as best we can.
Today I've been the guest of the Business Growth Bureau on a tool ship called Tenacious in Solent, going around Cowes. We have sailed under our own we climbed up the rigging. I've steered the ship. We've done the ropes. We've got involved. It's been a wonderful experience, but it's no less than I would expect from these guys.
Today's experience has been incredible. It's actually been very intimate, working with leaders and business, and us all coming together and sharing such inspiration and how we can change business, not only today, but for the future. So thank you.
Rupert and Alex have been fantastic hosts, as have all the Jubilee Trust team, and great experience down here in Portsmouth. Been up the mast. We've been fed very well by our head cook, and yeah, smiles all round.
End up at the top of the rigging, something I had never believed that I would be capable of. So, you know, they inspire you to feel confidence in yourself, in your abilities, and it's an absolutely affirming and empowering experience.
Today has been absolutely wonderful. I couldn't have asked for a better day on this amazing boat. I've met lots of interesting people, and it's been a very enjoyable experience to learn more about being on a ship and sail to the Isle of Wight.
I think the experience that I had today was meeting like-minded business people. I learned a few things today, in particular blockchain, authoring, and what somebody should be looking at when they're going out and doing public speaking. And I think just talking to other people, like-minded people, has given me a lot from the day. And of course, the venue is second to none. So to Rupert and the rest of the gang, thank you very much indeed.
What a brilliant day. Some fascinating people on board. We've had some great networking opportunities. We've got to appreciate what it means to be part of a crew on a tall ship, which was just brilliant from an experiential point of view. A few drinks and some great hospitality too. I'd thoroughly recommend this to anyone.
Great charity, great experience, and I would thoroughly recommend the day to anybody, and also the services of Rupert and his team as well, who've looked after us fantastically throughout the day.
Sail set, whether we actually do any sailing as such or not, depends on what the wind does. The forecast is for very light winds today, but also a little bit of sunshine. So we'll have a nice day out of the river anyway, and we'll continue doing things on there.
The other thing I've thought about is it's not an emergency, but one thing you may hear is some other bells going on.
Honywood.
Yes.
Sam Honywood.
Oh, yes.
Wendy Honywood.
It's a family affair, isn't it?
And Rupert Honywood.
Yeah. There's another one of our favourite clients, but we just happened to ask, as Claire has explained, she's up the chat line. I said to her, I was looking for any porno sites, something like that. She said, no.
No, but we do sell sex toys.
It's Rupert from Integrated Marketing Bureau. We've decided we wanted to run a special event with a very special client of ours, which is Jubilee Sailing Trust. Jubilee Sailing Trust do some excellent work with people with disabilities and children with disabilities.
And we discussed, whether it's possible to actually charter one of their ships for the day. And they said, yeah, of course. But at that point, we said, yeah, let's explore it a bit further. We decided to ask our clients along today and also some special guests. And yeah, we just want everyone to have a really great day and go back home buzzing and feeling really good about the experience. Okay, this is the ascender stroke descender that we're going to be using to go up. Okay, so this is what travels up the red line. So if you go ahead and set this, get that one on there before you climb up. Bring that on.
It's just been really nice meeting people in a relaxed environment, just going along, it's been really peaceful and great. Thank you, Rupert.
Hanging off the bridge, looking at the view and also looking at a whole pile of people overcoming their fears. That was amazing.
I think going on all of those things.
Oh, yeah.
All of those things up there.
Yeah. Terrifying. And steering the boat.
Fantastic.
Just generally being on an amazing ship with good people. It's been brilliant. Absolutely wonderful day.
Best part of the day today has been on a tour ship going along the River Thames as a guest of Rupert Honywood. To see him climb the rigging was a fascinating experience. He has also introduced us to lots of different people. Great meeting you don't normally meet, and actually just to see London from a different perspective has been truly amazing.
The highlight to me, I guess, feeling of smugness as we were sailing through the open Tower Bridge. Sailing on the Tower Bridge is something that you don't really ever expect to do, right? It was, it's so beautiful.
Nice to be going under the bridge. Fantastic.
To be honest, I had no idea what I was in store for. But I got off the tube this morning and I just found this boat when I wanted to have a sleep. And I just woke up and I was just in the middle of all this. I mean, Castaway, you've got to believe it.
Right, guys, actually make sure I'm unmuted. I think I'm unmuted. Don't worry, we're going to give you a little bit more time because I can see. Can someone just confirm, Muriel, can you get my tongue back in my mouth? Can you hear audio right on your side?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Rupert.
Okay. Don't worry, we're going to give you a little bit more time because I can see here, I'll just do a refresh on our side here. We've got a lot of people entering this today, actually. So, yeah, so basically there's a number of you have completed the questionnaire already, but I can see probably about a little bit over half of you haven't. So don't worry, we're going to give you a few more minutes. So I don't want you to feel that you're having to rush this. At the end of the day, we want you to give you a fair chance of actually completing this questionnaire. The crucial thing is when you get to the very end, make sure you hit the button at the very end to submit your details. It is pretty obvious, but if you don't submit it, we actually don't get the full details of your form, and that's going to cause a problem over your eligibility for the competition. So if you've got part of the way through and you have accidentally closed the form down, you better put something in chat to let me know. Hopefully you haven't done that, okay? But it's just worth bearing in mind. Now, because I'm going to give everyone perhaps another, what's time we now? We're running a little bit over time, but not too far because we've done quite well up to now. Just do a quick refresh. Yes, I can see more people have completed it. What I'm going to do just for a few more minutes is just going to put like a little a TV highlights thing on for you about LinkedIn, which you might quite enjoy. And we'll come back in just a second. So just bear me a second.
This is Business Connections Live with Steve Highland.
Hello there, welcome on to Business Connections Live, the program for entrepreneurs, SMEs and business owners. Now, on today's show, we're going to be discussing the 12 pillars to growing a successful business, not just for the business sake, but also for your sake as well. It's going to be an interesting program as always. Joining me in the studio is Rupert Honywood from the Business Growth Bureau. Rupert, lovely to have you on the program today. Thank you very much for joining us. For those people that don't know who the Business Growth Bureau is and what you're all about, please do tell all.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for that. And thanks for inviting me onto the show. It's fundamentally, what I really love doing is working with directors of companies to help to really grow and accelerate the development within their business and also beyond.
Now, your business has changed, isn't it? And I think this is what's so intriguing about it. A lot of people will know you as somebody that would come along and say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build on your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to grow that. I'm going to qualify that. And I'm going to present to you with hot leads. Now, it just seems that everybody and their grandmother is doing that now. Your business has moved away from that. You're still using that as a tool. I understand that. But so how has the business changed?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, that. In fact, fundamentally, there's a saying that I use quite a bit: if nothing changes, everything stays the same. And it sounds such an obvious thing. But there is a danger that if you don't respond to market conditions, you end up by falling behind. Now, in real terms, from the technological point of view and the service point of view, we're always like to be ahead, certainly be with the game, or if not ahead of the game. But the actual market's changed quite a bit. So the whole LinkedIn social media space has become much more commoditized. There are people out there offering the service at perhaps a lower cost. And we're not really in that space. We're much more of a quick, premium provider, providing a really good service to clients. Plus, they want exceptional results. So we're still offering as a service, but it's actually more by request now. And we're a lot more selective over the clients that we take on. And the reason for that is we also have to make sure that people are also very strong on following up the opportunities. So if we work with the so-called 3 cogs, lead generation, prospect nurturing, sales optimization, if any one of those 3 cogs is not turning, you've got a problem. Where we can see a problem sometimes is when those hot leads are passed over to our clients. Clients can be really struggle sometimes following those through, or they just are not suitably trained in the whole sales process.
Well, there seems to be a resistance, doesn't there, when you give somebody, look, here's a hot lead, you better phone that today. They'll always phone it tomorrow. It's always, I can put that off until a better time. And they don't just get on with it, do they?
No, exactly. And the thing is as well, people forget that the rate of decay on a lead is very fast. So if I put my hand up and say, look, I'm interested in having a conversation, and you happen to sit on it for a few days, then actually that person very quickly forgets why they want to speak with you in the first place. So really, time is of the essence. And the other thing we see happening a lot is people can become too reliant on social media just by itself, because it's much easier than having a physical conversation. But fundamentally, if someone's actually asking for more information or to have a self-based conversation, you really should be taking that conversation offline as quickly as possible, turning that into a phone call. Bear in mind they're asking for that conversation, in which case it's not a case of selling anymore. It's much more about meeting a client's need. So even someone who's struggling with sales, if they can at least have a normal, intelligent conversation with someone, it really is very straightforward. And that's the bit we're really passionate about. If we can make a difference, not just on the first part, but on the second part, then great. But actually, we see our mission being a lot bigger than that fundamentally now.
Why do you think people are so hesitant when it comes to picking the phone up and talking to people? I've got two questions, actually. That one, and the other one is, do you think anybody really does make proper sales leads that work on LinkedIn? Are the only people making money the people that are telling you how to make money?
That's a lovely question. Yes, no, definitely. I mean, we ourselves, not surprisingly, have got a continual supply of leads and opportunities coming through. In fact, we've just literally filled up 4 events in a period of 1 week through a LinkedIn campaign for ourselves. So, and that's just a really good example. We're running now another one in December. So a lot of fun to be had with that. But it really does stem with this whole issue of follow-up. And the other thing to bear in mind with something like LinkedIn, it applies to other social media platforms as well, is that when you're reaching out to someone at that particular point in time may not be looking for that widget, product or service that you have to sell. So a lot of it's about timing, or if they are looking for it now, they may have a process they have to go through internally before they can actually commit to it. So the lead sale, it can be a little bit longer sometimes to convert that sale, because they may not be in a buying moment at that precise point in time. But because you've built the relationship up in advance, and you've done if you do that the right way, what happens, you then are front of mind. And also invariably, instead of being in a highly competitive situation, which you might be if you're doing a pay-per-click campaign, because they're just shopping around perhaps around 5 or 6 different suppliers, you're possibly the only one they're speaking to. And because you've already broken through that relationship of trust, they already want to transact and buy from you. When they are in that buying moment, what better place can you be in?
Okay, then, we've talked about LinkedIn.
Right, everyone. Muriel, just confirm audio is okay again for me, can you?
Yeah, audio's fine.
Yeah, lovely. Okay. What we'll do is I can see the vast majority have actually finished. There's still a few which haven't. So again, let me just do a quick refresh to see where we're at. I'm just going to read out some names to just confirm how far you've got in the process. So listen carefully on this one. At the moment, we've got outstanding Nikki Wiles, Ashley Waite, David Davies, Leroy Joseph, Ellen Watts, Mandip. We've got Peter Smith and Ellen Watts. I think he might have gone in twice actually. Yes, I think you may have started and then gotten to different start again. Yes, so could you just type in the chat if you've heard your name? Can you just in the chat just indicate roughly where you're at in the process? Because I was trying to work out how much longer we should give you. Okay, I just want to be fair, but obviously I can only give it so long as part of this call. So let's see how we go. So if you heard your name being read out, can you just give us an update in the chat, please, if that's all right? Right, okay. So Mira, we need to, whilst we're just waiting for the final answers to come in, we need to have in mind, we have already, actually, hang on, I'm just wondering whether we've forgotten something amongst all of this. We need to, right, there is one thing we've forgotten. We need to determine, first of all, who is the, who's interacted most over the last few days and actually been the most supportive. Now, we have that list a little bit earlier on. Okay, so if you could work with me to try and, perhaps you could try and come up with 3 names, Muriel, that you feel worth. You obviously got the list from earlier on. Come up with 3 names.
Yeah, I know one straight away. Okay, let me find my email to you and
find 3. Okay, and let's have a look at it there. Okay, I actually need to do another quick report on our system here. Okay, so you guys you're lucky actually. I can give you another 2 or 3 minutes. So just give me a second. Right, won't be a moment. Those of you who have almost got to the end, remember at the very end to press that final button there. That's obviously very important. So just bear me a moment. Bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? I'm just nervous for everyone else. So I'm just trying to barely concentrate, trying to. I wonder who's going to win. So we'll overrun a bit today, but I think it's worth it, isn't it? So just bear me a second. We've made the competition quite complex, actually, because we've got 3 in effect running simultaneously. So. Run some stats across our database because I promised you we were going to do certain things. I've completely forgotten about it. It's not good. Anyway, whilst everyone's waiting, have you enjoyed today? Have you enjoyed this week? What have you particularly liked from this week? What do you feel you've learned? Always keen to hear what people have actually picked up from it all. So do type in if you've got some ideas on that. Whilst we're just trying to work out the final results. Okay. Right. Okay, just wait a second. Okay, so we've got. Oh, nothing's easy for us, is it? Dear, oh dear. Okay. Gosh.
You decide on the third.
Well, it's difficult actually, Mira, because we've got 22 people who are shortlisted the second prize, and we're trying to work out the third one, aren't we? So, right, let's see how people are getting on with this form first, because then at least we know where everyone's at. So the ones we've still got left which haven't completed, I think we're going to have to close it in so give you everyone 2 more minutes. But yeah. Nikki Wild's still not completed at the moment. Actually, well, Nikki, it does appear, I think you might have gone in a second time. Okay, Ashley, wait, let me just see whether we've got another one for you. It doesn't appear you've completed it. Leroy Joseph, let me just see, we've perhaps gone out and had another go. No, Leroy, you haven't quite finished yet, by the looks of it. Ellen, I think you have had. Bear me a second. Let me have a quick look at you, Ellen.
No, Ellen, don't worry. We haven't announced anything yet.
No,
Ellen had her sound off.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, Ellen, I can see you obviously started one and had to go on another one. So, yeah, I don't know how you're getting on. Right, so if you've heard your names being read out, just tell me how far close you are to the end, and then we're going to have to close it very shortly. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I'll give her about another minute and a half on the main form. Okay, so we'll give it till 6:15 exactly. Okay, so it's 6:13 and 28 seconds as we speak now. Obviously, there's a time delay on your side, but go by the clock, not by what Facebook tells you by YouTube. Right. Okay. Right. So, Muriel, have you decided on these? Let's do the runner-up prizes while we're waiting for others to finish.
Yeah, I sent you a private chat on that. Did you see it?
Just give me a second. Right. Okay. So I think you've nominated 2, Muriel, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the ones I was thinking of anyway. Just tell me about Ellen for a moment. These are the looks we've got narrowed down to 2 winners for the. This is for the some person that's been most supportive in the community overall, but it is very close because lots of you have been really very proactive. So Ellen and Alan Lavender we've got as well. So tell me a bit about Ellen, Muriel, and also a little bit about Alan Lavender, and perhaps I'll have the casting vote, shall I? It's an impossible thing to do, but there we go.
What do you want to say? I mean, the interaction's been phenomenal.
Great.
Good questions, good statements, good input from both, and there's actually a few more, but I think they just pipped it to the post, I think.
Right. Okay. I personally feel Eleanor should win this prize. So that's Ellen Watts. So do you agree?
Yes, I do. She was far more interactive.
Yeah. So, well, I think Alan was as well as me, but we just at the end of the day, one person can only win, and it's a bit of a subjective feel. But Muriel, can we just move Stuart's comment? Thanks for that.
Sorry. Oh gosh, I've got to find it. Hang on.
Okay. But Ellen, well done on that, by the way. I'm very pleased for you. With that prize, just make sure you email Muriel@businessgrowthbureau.com and make sure you include your email address you use for Amazon as well. Right, so that one's sorted that out.
And what's that prize, Rupert?
That's a £50 Amazon voucher. Okay. And Kevin, thank you for your feedback. It's nice that you agree on that one. Yeah, thanks. Okay, good. Right, let's just see how everyone's doing. Hopefully, yeah, we've given everyone time now. I think we're going to have to close the main competition.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look. Give me a second. There is going to be another runner-up prize in just a moment. I was trying to see we've got a clear winner on this. Let me do a refresh just to get the final results. Okay, so we've got... okay, right, a little bit of a drum roll. In fact, it's interesting actually. Quite a few have actually scored 70% above. Runner-ups. I'm afraid you haven't won, but your runner-ups. Let me a second. Nikki, you were a runner-up. Let's have a look at this as well. And yeah. So Nikki is the next one in line after that, and then it drops back. So, but there is one clear winner, and that's without actually having to use the tiebreaker, and that is Stuart Honey. So well done,
Yay!
Stuart. That's very good. So you've won the £7,000 prize, Stuart. So I think we've got the details for you already. But if you could just drop us a little email, that'd be good. And obviously we'll speak with you separately about that. And we have also got the runner-up prize. Now, this is a second runner-up prize. So just bear me a second. Let's just see whether there's any other clear winners on here. Sorry, second runner-ups rather. Wait a moment. Okay. Let me just see whether this person is also on the other list as well. Just bear me a second. Right. Okay. Right. To be frank, this is a really difficult one because what we've done is looked across our systems and who's attended which days. And obviously, there's a lot of you have attended all 5 days. So we've got an awful lot of people to choose from. And to be frank, it's very difficult for us to be subjective over it. I think what I would propose, let me just, if everyone's just happy with me to make this up a little bit as I go along for the runner-up prize. Let me just have a bit of a look at a couple of other things to see whether there's anything else we can factor in. Yeah, let me just see because, right. Okay, I think the runner-up prize to this simply, and I'm going to base this on the interactivity, but also the other part is actually you were the second closest to the top. So Stuart's got all the answers right. Nikki Wiles, you got one answer wrong, okay, but you actually did score 90%, and you were the only other person that got to that score. So in which case it was a fairly clear cut. So you're definitely the winner. Sorry, not the winner, but the runner-up. So you also get a £50 Amazon voucher. So hopefully I've been fair over that. So again,
well done, Nikki.
You just email Muriel@businessgrowthbureau.com, and we'll go from there. Just let me switch over for a second. What I'm going to do is just got a couple of bits more information to share. I've just got to switch the screen share off the screen and then try and bring it back in again. Okay, so give me a second. It's difficult when we start switching between different screens for all sorts of reasons. A second. Right, we've only got 2 or 3 more bits of information to share, and obviously we'll gladly stay on to answer any sort of closing questions as well. So, right, there we go. Right, we just had a little bit of fun around the Selling Adventure as well. Now, just a quick reminder for next week. We run these weekly live streams, okay, every Thursday at 5 o'clock. They're completely free. We've got a fantastic person on next week, David Fox-Pitt at MBE. He's raised over 40 million for good causes. He's a serial philanthropist. I can never say the word. Very much, he's going to be looking at how you can develop a can-do attitude. Don't dream, do it, begin now. Train your brain to overcome obstacles, take personal responsibility, and reinforce self-belief. How helping others often results in helping yourself. Give massive thanks to every step of the way. Now, the way you get to that is by going to the website again, choose the events drop-down, and choose live streams, okay? Now, when you go to the live streams part, you've got 2 options. You'll first of all get an option to select the time zone when you click the button, but the other part is you either can hit continue and you can just book the 1 session, or what you can do is choose recurring, and it allows you to book in multiple weeks. And the good thing is it saves you having to register each week. But we've had some really, really amazing people involved. And also, if you guys are interested in contributing to the program, we are booked up about 2 months ahead at the moment with guest speakers. But if you want to put your name forward, by all means, do so. Drop Muriel a note, and also for a little bit of a reason why. And you may have indicated in the form today as well. So, but he's a fantastic guy, so do listen to what he has to say. And also massive amounts of business commercial experience to share. We've already covered the prizes. We've also announced the winner, and there are some contact details if you need it. So anyway, those of you who have actually elected to book in a call with myself, if I could just remind you you would have been sent an email with a payment link. If you could very kindly click on that, it'd be really appreciated. And if you booked a call with Muriel as well, it would be in by the calendar system. If you haven't booked in the calendar system, do. But anyway, I think without further ado, I think we need to just deal with any final closing questions, and moving back a bit, so don't. Obviously, then we'll call it a wrap. And I just want to say to everyone here, really enjoyed your company and support this week. Thank you ever so much, everyone. Hopefully, you've all enjoyed it. Do keep comments coming afterwards, actually, because we will be monitoring the Facebook pages and groups. We love your feedback. If any of you got any particular questions after today, also we can email me at rupertbusinessgrowth.com. But if you do that, also copy Muriel in as well. If you've got to copy Muriel, email me or do the same. So Muriel is at muriel@businessgrowth.com, and we'd love to actually hear from you and what you've thought of today. We're going to leave the Facebook group open until Tuesday. If you have a change of heart and would like to interact a lot more with us as well, just drop us an email or do reach out, and we'll be very pleased to help you. Anyway, thanks ever so much, everyone. Really appreciate your company, and it's been a fantastic 5 days. So do enjoy. Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Lovely seeing you. Bye-bye. Bye.